You know, we look at Memorial Day, it provides us a unique opportunity to stop. There are so many things in our lives, in our existence, in our world that we take for granted. We know the things when we wake up in the morning, the things that we struggle with. We know the things that we're thankful for. We know the things that are going to be a challenge most likely that day, and we know the things that day that we're really, really looking forward to. We think we know the rules or the boundaries, the parameters that we have to work within. We know what's acceptable and not acceptable. We know what's within the law and what's outside the law, what's inside morality and what's outside morality. We know all of these things, but on a day like today, we look at what are those rules, what are those boundaries, and how were they created, and how are they defended? We stand on the shoulders of everyone who's come before us. Memorial Day, oftentimes, it's focused only on the soldiers, only on the military. I honor our military. Whether you agree or you disagree with what they do, or how they do it, or how they're told to do it, or any military action we have taken or have ever taken throughout our history, the conviction of these folks to give in ways that we, most of us, couldn't imagine. To be away from your family for months, sometimes even years on end. Waking up every day not knowing if it will be your last or not. Doing what you're ordered to do. So that half a world away, people can be free. People can have the freedoms, the religious freedoms to meet as they decide they want to meet. To be free to worship whatever God makes sense to you. A lot of other countries that isn't the case. We can feel trapped in our social class, that I'm in this class but I want to be in that class, but I used to be in this class and I'm in this class now. It's one of the few countries in the world that you're not born into a class that you can't get out of. We have the ability, the freedom, to make our life experience what we want it to be. And that's something that oftentimes in our daily lives, we can kind of take for granted because it's the way it's always been. We don't know anything different unless you've traveled to another country or been born in another country. When Julie shared the amount of effort that she went through to come here, just to come to this country, just to be a part of this country, just to enjoy the freedoms that we have. It's amazing. It's amazing. What we have in this country is extremely special. And not just from a military standpoint, the same thing would be true for a missionary. That they leave their house and they leave their family and they leave their safety and they leave their comfort to go do what they need to do, what they feel called to do. The same would be true for an activist. There are folks like Martin Luther King who gave it all because what he saw wasn't what he wanted to see. He believed that people were created equal. Now in today's society we can look around and say, well, of course, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what your paint job is. It's what's under the hood. It doesn't matter if my car is blue or white or yellow or brown or polka dotted or speckled. What matters is it reliable? Does it get me from point A to point B? Is it a fast car? Is it a big car? Is it whatever my need for a car is? It wasn't always so. If not for the sacrifices, if not for the following the vision of these folks, who might not we know? Who might not be connected with? Would a meeting like this room even be possible? On Memorial Day, we look back at those who have come before us and we get inspired. We get thankful. We have a new level, a renewed level of appreciation, less complacency, less taking things for granted. But I'll take it a step further. Because this isn't just about yesterday. It's about today. This isn't just about them. It's about you. 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 And me. The thing that these people have in common that we're memorializing today is what they did was bigger than themselves. Was bigger than themselves. We're all wired to make sure that I can make my house payment, or I can pay my rent, or I can keep my lights on. And we can all do the things that we need to do to make that happen. We can get a job, or find a job, or start a business, or whatever it is we need to do to take care of our needs. Those aren't the folks we're remembering today. The folks who just took care of themselves. We're talking about the folks who saw past themselves. I can guarantee you that soldiers aren't in it for the money.
So can I.
They're not in it for the perks, the benefits. They're there because it's what they feel called to do. In a room full of teachers, we all know that we don't teach for the money. We don't teach for the fame. We don't teach for the recognition. We don't teach to be the guru on the soft feather pillow. Please peel me a grape. It doesn't work that way. Right? We teach because there is something inside us that we need so desperately to give to someone else. And we see where someone is, and our hearts go out to them, and we think that we might have a couple little pieces, a couple little breadcrumbs to help lead them in the direction that they're trying to go, or make it a little easier than it was for us. In our lives today, it's very easy to take things for granted. It's very easy to be complacent. It's very easy to fill our days with these. To sit down in front of the TV and say, entertain me. Entertain me for hours and hours and hours. Or these things. This magical time-traveling machine, the land that time forgot. You plug onto one of these and you can watch time disappear before your very eyes. You can sit down at one of these, you can blink twice and it's 6 hours later and oh gosh, is it dinner time? I'm not talking about the folks who just do this, or just do this. And we all do. On some level, in some way, we all do. It's not a casting stones. It's rather, as we're looking at the Memorial Day service, saying, in the future, or in the present, who is memorializing you? If someone else were in this service and they closed their eyes and you were one of the people that showed up on their stage to support them. Maybe you'd be the soldier, maybe you'd be the activist, maybe you'd be the teacher, maybe you'd be the friend, maybe you'd be the family member. Maybe you'd be the one that helped to lift them up when they fell down. Something outside of yourself that you can do. That you can do. This thing will eat hours. And it's okay to be entertained, folks. It's okay once in a while to go, just want to relax, entertain. Nothing wrong with that. What I'm talking about is the eating up of hours and hours and hours of your day. And then saying, I don't have the time or the energy to do these other things. Because house comes on at 8. And Jeopardy comes on at 8:30. And this comes on and this comes on and that comes on, and I have my routine, my things that I have to do. Or I would love to help this person, but I have so many emails. And I just have to know that if I don't forward this to at least 18 of my closest friends, that my left ear will fall. Right? I'm asking you to step outside your comfort zone. To be someone worth remembering, worth memorializing. Who do you know? Who comes to your mind right now that you could reach out to with a hug or with a smile? That you could be their hero? In decades past, philanthropic organizations boomed with people helping other people. The Lions Club that we belong to is basically dying a slow death. In different places, we have belonged to Lions Clubs that had 40, 50, 60, 70 active members. Hope getting the gift of sight to someone who doesn't have it. The crew now is down to about 2, 3, 4, 5. And becoming less, becoming less. Because we're too busy with this. Pushing forward is too important. Playing that game, reaching that next level, gets me through my day. We can make differences together, individually. We can. I'm not talking about the things that eat up your day, the things you have to do to pay the bills, to survive. The stuff that I can do for me. I'm talking about the stuff that I can do for you. The stuff that you can do for each other. Imagine just for a second that 5 years has passed or 10 years has passed. Maybe this family has got over a hump and begun to expand and expand and expand. Maybe through the internet, maybe through a financial blessing, maybe through whatever, that we get a building and we grow and we get some energy and we do some things. But maybe a few years from now, there's 5 million people tuning in every Sunday. Imagine those people looking back on their Memorial Day saying, that group of people who started Connections, this thing that has changed my life, if Misty hadn't shown up, there would have been one more empty seat. And because she did show up, she added her energy, her voice to the choir and the skit. She gave, hoped it to grow. Or someone who showed up at 9:30 instead of at 10 and said, I hear this is a place of healing and I need wellness. And Jez took that person in the healing room and prayed and laid hands. Or maybe some of the others of us did. We hope to heal a physical thing or an emotional thing inside of them. It made all the difference in their world. When an offering plate came around, rather than I've got a buck or two, but I've got my needs, is I chose, God called and asked me to give a little more, which did something that helped to reach someone, that helped to do whatever. It's our time, it's our talent, it's our effort. But outside of that, it's stepping outside of ourselves, saying, how can I help? Instead of what's in it for me. As you look at your day, as you look at your today and your tomorrow, what allocates your time? 8 hours maybe to work, 8 hours maybe to sleep, maybe 24 hours is all yours. Depends on your situation, on your circumstance. But what do you feel called to do? And I ask you, brought to you by Apple, but I ask you throughout today's message, as we think about the teachers, as we think about the soldiers, as we think about the activists, as we think about the spiritualists, as we think about those who have helped us when we were down, and those who we helped that were down, and those who we helped to boost up, and those who helped to boost us up. When you look at your tomorrow, I ask you, how do you want to be remembered? If there is a perfect accounting system in the universe, and I believe there is, at some point when we leave this physical body, and we're hanging one-on-one with God, and we're looking at the spreadsheet of our lives, how much time do you want it to say, how did I spend my life? What did I do, God? God to say, well, let's see, there's a perfect accounting system in the universe, and according to this, you have amassed 987,000 hours of television over the course of your lifetime. You answered 11,273 emails. You deleted about 3/4 of them. And you made time to give someone a call, or to show up at their house, or that there is some gift inside of you, something that you know that you can do that other people can benefit from, that you pushed pause on this. You knew that this would still be here tomorrow. And you said, I'm here to help. How can you use me? How can I be of service? And how can I make a difference in the lives of other folks? Thank you.
This morning, as it's Memorial Day, we have little flags to hand out, and it looks like we could probably take a couple if you want. Please.
Charge of the best.
Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor.
So as you guys place these flags up, either in your yard, your home, or as we look at them, remember the heroes in your life, and remember in being a hero yourself to others.
And I'm reminded that, we all may consider ourselves children of God, citizens of the universe, citizens of the spiritual realm. Equally, we can take pride in being from this planet of Earth,
That's it.
connected with every other spirit, every other soul on this planet, regardless of the things that used to divide us. We no longer, in this country, have one color of people who get to sit in the front of the bus, and a different color of people that get to sit in the back of the bus. Establishments that do for only this race, or only this gender, or only this belief system. In this room, we have a mixture of ethnicity, of background, of religions. And something doesn't have to be bad for something else to be good. By the same token, we can take pride in being Americans. And that doesn't mean that any other country is better than or less than we are. We can still take pride in this. Just as being a part of the United States, we can still take pride that we're from Florida. Or, with Florida, we can be really happy that we're from Brevard County. Or that we can be really even happier than that we're in Merritt Island, where dreams are launched. To say that I am happy and I am proud to be of Merritt Island doesn't negate that Florida is good. Saying that I love Florida doesn't mean that any other state is not good. It's all part of the same country, which is all part of the same planet, which is all part of the same universe, which is all part of this same co-created illusion of reality, of physicalness. So as you look at this, right here, symbolizes where we were, where we came from, how many states, how many colonies to begin with, how many states are on the flag, how many of the 13 original colonies, and the red and the white and the blue. This is tangible. It provides the freedom for you to follow your inner bliss, to follow your inner calling, and to do things even greater than yourself. So if you got something out of today's service, if God has given you more than you need, or if you feel called to add your energy to this group, to this family, to exchange energy with God, to contribute in some way, to help it grow, we ask that you take that gift in your hand As money is just energy. And if you agree with what's on the screen, we invite you to read it with us as you're turbocharging this gift with energy. Divine Spirit, bless these gifts.
I welcome abundance in my life. Bless and multiply all that I am able to give and all that I am willing to receive. Love is something if you give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Love is something if you give it away. You'll end up having more. It's just like a magic penny. Hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. Love is.
Our closing song has no verbal words to it, but it does have the written word along with the video. So as you watch it, I think
It speaks for itself.
Yeah.
What defines you? What is more important than $1? What is more important than what's on here? Or how many emails get answered in your world? What is really in here that you have to give the world? That you will be remembered for? That you will be memorialized for? That you will live on in the lives of others? There is so much power in this room. There is so much power inside of each of you. I know you. I feel you. I know some of the things you've shared with me that you have to offer. I want to inspire you. I want to encourage you. I want to help you to be you. To remember who you are. Not just for you. Not just for the what's in it for me factor. Beyond that. For everyone else. I hope that today you were touched, you were moved, you were reminded not only of who came before, but for what you could do for tomorrow and what's really, really important. This is a circle of power. This reminds us that we're all connected. Not one of us in it alone. All of us in it together. With the love and support that you feel from around this circle, you can accomplish anything. What is your focus? What is your day? How do you spend it? What would you like to do different? What would you like to do better? What have you always wanted to do? And will you allow yourself to start doing it today? In whatever way makes sense to you. In whatever way you feel called to do. Divine Spirit, please fill us with your gift, with your power, with your strength, with your courage to step outside of ourselves, to live for more than ourselves, to make a difference for more than just me, but for everyone that I come in contact with. I ask your help in reevaluating my time and my day and my purpose and my passions and my gifts and what I have to give. How I will be remembered. The difference that I can make with your help and the help of everyone that I'm connected to.